right. Well, I think Josh has something for us
Yes,
now.
I do. So, my topic is going to lead into our main topic. We'll just surprise you with that. No spoilers here. But I wanted to ask you guys, what makes a great teacher? And I want you to think all the teachers you had throughout your life, elementary through today, college, and think, what makes a great teacher? What are the teachers who had the most impact on you as a person, as a student, maybe as a sports player, whatever it is? I was just curious about you guys. And I have some things written down, but I wanted you to see what you guys thought.
I think, I had a teacher my senior year. Super upset that I only had this teacher my senior year. This guy was 32 or 3, had a couple of kids, all this stuff. He was my biology 3 teacher. Mm-hmm. He played Skyrim. He played all the video games. Like, all of them. We used to collect cans and breakfast and go in his room, and he would be playing PC games on his computer in the room when we'd walk in. Like, he was just an awesome guy. We used to have super intense conversations about, like, what we thought was going on in specific video games. And,
Time out. So this man is a good teacher because he didn't do his job?
No.
And only played video games?
No.
Okay.
He did his job.
Logan has a point.
He did his job.
Okay.
Shut your mouth and listen.
He has a point.
He did his job way better than anyone else. He was also a very hands-on teacher. We actually did practical applications of things. And he taught us all kinds of interesting stuff.
That's good.
Awesome teacher.
So what I'm hearing is he was relatable and you liked the hands-on teaching.
Yeah.
There we go.
He didn't
Very
teach
cool.
for a test.
That's good.
Yeah.
And
I like
rare
that, too.
these days.
He did. I mean, he still had to.
You have to a point.
He had to an extent,
Yeah.
but, like, he made it fun.
Yeah.
And I retained most of the information.
On tracking on teachers who did fun things in their spare time, I had a art teacher who played Magic the Gathering just about every day with the other art teacher at my high school.
That's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
And they would play with students and stuff. It was pretty cool. But what about you guys? Have
Well,
any great teachers?
I think that great teaching happens when you're passionate about the subject.
Yeah.
And this is a little unfair to like elementary school teachers because they have to teach everything.
Yeah.
And how is one passionate about 3rd grade geography?
And 3rd grade math and 3rd grade English.
Yeah.
Well,
and everything else. At
I
the same
think
time.
what makes an elementary school teacher is, like a good elementary school teacher, is being passionate about the kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, there's a switch. I think when you hit maybe halfway through middle
Yeah.
school or high school.
Yeah.
I
When
think
you are
have to
passionate
be-
about the kids in high school, it is awkward and weird.
Yeah, that's
Also
called
saw that
jail.
You
at my
can't
school.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
bad.
we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think elementary school teachers are great because they love kids and they're good role models. If you can teach a kid how to live, it's
Love
way
kids
more,
appropriately.
love kids appropriately. We have to be so careful these days
Yeah.
about how we phrase things. But
Which
if you
is
can be a
sad.
good role model and teach a kid how to live, that's far more important, I think, than
Yeah.
teaching a kid how to
Yeah.
add.
Can I just state, my kindergarten teacher ruined school for me.
Really?
Ruined it. Straight off the bat.
From kindergarten.
From kindergarten.
How?
I showed up, first off, Mr. At taught at Daniels Elementary School, Daniels, West Virginia.
You just called her out.
The first day of school, for starters, we show up and we get binders about yay thick. My grandmother can vouch for this.
In kindergarten.
About yay thick with, tabs separating the subjects.
Yeah.
All worksheets. All worksheets. Yes. Yes.
That's miserable.
Every day we had to complete 3 worksheets from
No.
each subject. If we did not finish them in class, we were to do them at home. And even in kindergarten, I was a brat. So you know
That's
what
not
I
surprising.
did?
No, we knew.
Yeah. What did you did?
I did none of it.
went to-
I showed up the next day. She'd write it down on the board, and I'd just write it down behind her.
That is why kindergarten was the best 3 years of Logan's life.
I passed kindergarten, sir.
That is good. Good
I actually, my 3rd grade year, I got into gifted.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, back to my story that I was telling, by the way.
Well,
Um,
I wanted to talk about what makes the teacher not good.
Okay. Right in the middle of mine. Fit perfectly.
Okay.
All right. I had this teacher, Mr. Palola, in high school, and he was my 9th grade English teacher. And this man was a published author, big fan of Shakespeare, big fan of like a little post-romantic English literature in America. And he was incredibly passionate about what he taught and what he did as a job. And just seeing that man's passion about the most boring things, like the middle part of Romeo and Juliet, where you just kind of gloss over the part where Romeo goes away and nobody remembers what happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good story, man.
It is a very good story. Supposedly they're coming out the new movie.
No,
New movie
thank
version.
you.
It's supposed to be good.
Did you see the one where it was like rap themed?
Yeah, that was bad.
It was
Hamilton.
You can
gross.
thank Boz Lerman for that.
I really want to
Right,
see
yeah.
Hamilton. Speaking of rap theme,
Me too.
rap themed,
Wrapped theme.
wrapped theme.
I don't want to
Yeah.
derail us, but I don't really like Romeo and Juliet.
Well, Romeo and Juliet
Yeah.
and or Shakespeare doesn't like you.
Well,
Okay.
he's gone. So
He is so Romeo and Juliet.
yeah.
They
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Spoilers, Zach.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, it's been
Spoilers.
700 years.
400 years.
If you haven't seen this yet, you
Yeah.
missed it.
Yeah. But
Spoilers.
yeah. Anyways, this man was one of the most passionate people I've ever met about English, and every area of his life, just like English and grammar and language overflowed, and it had a big impact on everybody who went through his class. So I think at least at the high school level, possibly at college level also, that's one of the most important things is passion about what you're teaching.
It's good.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if you don't care about it, why do I as a student care about it?
You shouldn't.
True.
And I mean, if you don't care about it, in all honesty, you're probably not teaching it very well, anyways. So,
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
I had a few teachers in high school that I really liked. The rest of them,
Yeah.
well, I only
Same
had like
experience.
3 or 4 teachers.
yeah.
I had one teacher, who was an amazing teacher, and she did a lot for me and my friends in high school.
It's good.
I had one teacher one time that made us watch Jurassic Park 3,
Oh yeah,
and
you
then
told
2,
us
and
this.
then 1,
Oh my god.
because he was tired of watching them forwards.
Oh my gosh.
What class was this in the first place?
Biology. Or chemistry.
And you watched
Or
3.
Bio 1, or Bio 2, or...
You
Let
watched
me-
3 Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah,
Like
that was
in
like...
a row.
Yeah.
You first told me
It's
that
like a
story.
whole week of class.
Oh, it was longer than that, because we only had class
Yeah.
twice a week.
Wow.
Why?
Because 2 or 3 times. We had a block schedule,
Block
so
schedule.
A and B day alternate, and so...
Yeah.
When you
Well,
first
hold
told
on,
me that.
Hold on. Time out.
Okay.
My school's block schedule did not work anything like that.
Mine didn't either, but that's the more popular way.
Okay.
Yeah, we had 4 classes. They were ridiculously long, and we worked for about 4% of them, and then we sat there for the
Well,
rest of the
we
time.
had 4 classes, but we had 4 classes every day
Yep, that's
for
what
a
we did.
semester, and then we just switched
Yeah,
to the next
we
one.
went back and forth, which was really annoying.
That's real
But it's not
dumb.
like here we have Tuesday and Thursday classes and Wednesday and Friday classes, and at a normal college they have Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesday, Thursday.
Mhm.
But we had Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday the next week would be that same class. So, and if we had a snow day, like if the last day was B day, we have snow day, then it's A day, even though you planned on that day being B day, when it was super messed up. It was annoying.
Anyway.
Meth towns, man.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. But anywho, where was I going with that?
Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah.
3, 2, 1.
So, yeah, we
Josh
watched it
had
for like a
something to
quarter.
say about it.
Oh, I was just gonna say, the first time you told me the Jurassic Park thing, I had never seen any of the movies, but now that I have no clue how you could fit that into biology.
Whoa.
Other
No.
than
Are
The
we
first
gonna
one.
go up?
other
Okay.
than the fact that it uses this hypothetical made up science.
I'm just gonna cut you off right there because we didn't put it into biology.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
put coffee in his mug, and that was about it. That was all he.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Why have you never seen the Jurassic Park movies until recently?
If for no other reason than enjoying the soundtracks.
Because I didn't.
It's a terrible excuse. Continue.
So yeah, we did that. I sat in the back of the classroom and played Blood Bowl every day on my laptop.
Yeah.
Fair.
Maybe. he
And then
wanted to teach you
one day we
archaeology.
came in and he went, "All right, we have a project due in a week."
Whoa.
It's like, what? That's not the point. Good teachers is what
Yeah.
we're talking
Yeah,
about.
not bad.
So, my chemistry and physics teacher for 3 years, because I took Chem 1 and 2 because I wanted to take physics, and I was not good at chemistry. He was very good at making the class like one big inside joke. And so every time we would have like any sort of lecture, he would do absolutely ridiculous things. He teaches electron, like where electrons go on an atom and stuff, and how you know about electrons by teaching about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and the little people. What are they called? The
Oompa
Loompas.
Oompa Loompas. That's it. Yeah, and yeah, has this whole backstory and teaches why the Oompa Loompas prefer to live higher up, but it's cheaper to live lower down, and so they try and fill the cheaper ones. And then he's like, "This is actually electrons." We're like, "Whoa, that makes so much sense."
Yeah.
And
I
then
can see
yeah,
that.
the whole at the end of the year, every year we get a T-shirt that is just a bunch of inside jokes from his class that nobody gets at all.
Was it a free T-shirt?
I've
No,
seen-
we bought them, but they were worth buying.
I've seen you wearing one of these T-shirts, and they are
They make
nonsense.
0 cents.
Yeah. but-
Literally 0.
As
But
long
it was
as you
it
remember
kept us
it now.
interesting,
Yeah.
and it wasn't just the same boring thing every day.
That's good.
That's good.
Did you buy these T-shirts from him?
Yes,
That's a
How
little shady.
legal was this?
it was legal for the most part.
I was
I
gonna.
mean, as a class T-shirt, we didn't have to buy them, but
Yeah.
we did because
Okay.
we wanted to.
And
My-
he probably didn't sell them for profit.
No, it was like $12 because he had to pay for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't for profit.
I was gonna say it sounds like he's straight up, like making money off high school
No.
kids.
No,
Enjoy these jokes.
Well-
$25 T-shirt.
Technically, they are making money off high school kids
Well,
Ooh,
you
we
know
were
what I
talking
mean.
about that.
because that's their job.
Yeah.
He
That is-
wasn't.
that is their job.
Yeah.
You know
Um,
those tubes that you can get that you can swing around and they make like different noises?
Yes.
He walked out of the storage room, the lab storage room, one day at the beginning of class, just swinging one around and just kept swinging it around. Like, he was ridiculous, and he'd like throw things and yell at people, but it was fun. He was doing it for fun, and it was really good.
Wow.
Also, I had a current events class, which I'm still upset about because I went to take it a second time because it's current events, and I was trying to find something to fit into my schedule, and I was making my schedule senior year, and our guidance counselor decided that, like, she said, well, yeah, you can take that twice because it's current events. Like, it changes every day. Okay, so I was sitting in there, day one of school. She comes in and goes, "Oh, yeah, you two that took it last year, you can't be in here. We got to find some other class for you." I was like,
What?
first of all, we're already here. Like,
Yeah, like it's in your schedule.
so yeah,
Wow,
that
she
was
just
the
didn't
thing.
want you in
But
there.
anyway, he did not care what we did in that class. And like at one point I was eating a family-sized box of cereal and playing Vita. And like at one point he goes, "Hey, good choice." And then just kept doing his
Oh my
thing.
God.
Wow.
He sounds
But-
great.
You know that the most popular news source for our generation right now is things like The Onion and Comedy Central and places like that that give us news and make fun of them.
Yeah,
And
that's how I
what-
get
that's
like
how,
the vast
like,
majority of my news.
we get
Last
news.
week tonight.
This is
my
what he
favorite
did.
News outlet.
This is what he did. He would, and he was for the most part unbiased about it. He basically just played devil's advocate. Like if for the most part the class was on one side of this argument, he'd just like make fun of us until we went, oh, well, I guess that doesn't actually make that much sense. So let's look at it the other way and then form our own opinions. But,
There you go.
and I learned more in that class, even though I literally did nothing, than I did in a lot of my classes, because we didn't just do worksheets. Every once in a while, we'd have like an article summary to do or something like that. But most of the time, it was just we were sitting there watching the current events. Like, we were watching CNN, we were watching YouTube, we were watching something, and just pausing it every once in a while and talking about it and discussing our thoughts on it, our views on it.
That's cool.
And it was so much better. And it was absolutely ridiculous. Like, there were things that in that class that we probably shouldn't have been doing, but he didn't care. Like, but I actually learned a lot in that class.
That sounds amazing. I want that in college. Like
We all want that in college.
we kind of do that right now in college,
Yeah.
slightly.
In some classes.
No, I mean right here, right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
fair.
Um,
But anyways,
cool.
that's really cool.
yeah, that is cool.
I think we all want that class.
It was a good time.
So I wrote down 4 things. I could have written down more, but you guys covered a lot of them, and I was hoping you would. I think for me, great teachers love what they teach. You talked about that. I think something really important is not only do they love what they teach, but they're experienced in what they teach. Because I've had some teachers who trained to be teachers of the thing they're teaching and nothing else. They weren't in that field before, or they didn't, have that interest on their own time. They kind of just went and taught it because it was something to teach or something. And that doesn't make for a great teacher. What makes for a great teacher, I think, is, like you said, your English teacher who had published works. I also had an English teacher my senior year who had published a book. And I think that's awesome. Like, it's clear that those guys did English outside of the classroom. Like, it was something that they just did in their time. I think of Mr. Brewer, who teaches here. He teaches, like, the intercultural studies classes. A lot of them he teaches Encountering Cultures, lots of anthropology classes. And he spent, like, years living in Africa, where the culture is nothing like ours. And so he knows a lot about missions and working with other cultures. I think that's awesome. So my next thing is great teachers demand higher standards. And I referenced 2 high school teachers for this. I had Mr. Barry for Algebra 1. And Mr. Barry was known for just telling you flat out if he thought you were going to fail the Algebra ECA test, which was the standardized test. Towards the end of the year, he would say, okay, this test is coming up. Just raise your hand and ask me if I genuinely think you'll pass. And people did. And he was brutally honest.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We need someone like that in all of our lives.
Yeah. And he was a great teacher, though. And he taught us great notes every day. If he saw that we weren't taking notes, he would call us out. He'd be like, Josh, write some notes. Because
Did you get called out, Josh?
I got called out a lot of times. And
Really? That is a
sometimes
surprise.
I actually was taking notes and just I wrote it down already, and then I was just looking at him, and then he would point at me and say something. I'd be like, notes, Mr. Barry. But no, he was a great teacher, and if he thought someone wasn't doing well, he'd just say it.
My question with that is, did he say it in front of everyone?
If a person asked him in front of everyone if they were going to pass or if they were doing well, he would say it in front of everyone.
Hey, they
If you're
asked
not
in
afraid
front of
to ask,
everybody.
then he's not afraid
Yeah,
to say it.
okay, that's fair.
He prefaced with, you just raise your hand and ask me honestly if I think you're going to do well on this standardized test, and I'll tell you honestly. But, he prefaced that with, I'm going to tell it in front of everyone.
Yeah.
If you're going to ask it in front of everyone, I'll tell it. And he did. He told some people flat out, like, I don't think No.
You done goofed.
Yeah, you know
hey,
you're
hey,
trying
Ron.
right now. Just stop it.
And
You're
those
doing
were
your job.
usually people he had taken out in the hallway a few times during the year to tell them, like, you've got to take better notes, you've got to do your homework. Like, he was hard on people, he was tough, but we knew Algebra 1. The people who did what he said, we knew it.
I didn't know algebra 1.
Now, if you
I didn't
didn't
either.
pass this test, did you fail the class?
I don't think you failed the class, but you did have to, I believe, retake the test in some capacity.
Really?
Yeah, because
See, we didn't have that where I'm at.
it was like a required standardized test. It may have been an Indiana thing, but
The math teachers in our school system, and most of them are no longer there, the ones that I had at least that I had this problem with, from middle school on, just decided that they wanted to be part of the cool kids. They were like, I'm going to try and be cool to these cool kids, and then did not actually pay any attention to teaching. And also, I was not one of those cool kids, so they did not care about me.
I had a math teacher. I mean, not math, English teacher. My
Different.
junior year.
Slightly.
And, well, you said math. I just got confuddled.
okay.
She used to gossip about students
I had a
with
teacher that
these
did that.
students.
Yeah, we did too.
Okay, so one day, me and my friend Levi, love you, Levi, we're
Does
standing.
Levi watch the show?
Nah, I might text him and be like, "Hey."
You should,
So
Levi.
Levi, if
Hey.
you're not watching this show, he regrets what he said.
Yeah.
Levi and I were standing there, and she comes over and says, "Logan, Levi," and she sighs and she says, "You two dress really well." And she turns us towards this kid who's walking, what?
She told the man who just brushed casserole off his
Yes,
shirt
before we started
about
recording.
45 minutes ago that he dressed really
Okay,
well.
first of all,
I just wanted to point
You
that
know,
out.
wait, did we get that on footage?
We did. We'll
We'll
cut
plug it in.
Right?
47, remember that.
47, we'll cut it in. I'll make a note. Yeah. Anyways, you can continue. I just
Okay.
wanted to point that out to our viewers.
first of all, I dress really well. You know that.
Okay.
She turns us towards this kid who came out of the school wearing his hat like this,
Common in our day.
and no, it's not.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Yes.
Like this?
That was the style.
Mine were more
Like
rednecks. They were
barely
like
on
this.
top of your head.
Yeah.
They're like way up there.
Well, it wasn't like normal. It was really weird
Okay,
looking.
right.
It was weird looking. And she said,
Like
she
that.
said, can you two go show him how to wear his hat? I don't think
Whoa.
he knows. And then she laughed and walked away.
Wow.
She also lost her job
Oh.
for
There it is.
something else
Okay.
involving
we
a
won't talk about
student. So,
that. I think we all know
Yep.
what that means.
Okay. So on demanding higher standards, I had an English teacher my senior year named Mr. Engel, and he would have
Mr.
us.
Ingalls English.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Very many jokes. He was the one who published a book, and he had us speed write just about every day in class a page or a page and a half, 1 to 2 pages. He would have us speed write, and then he would grade them as the AP English graders grade essays. And we'd
Wow.
do a few of these a week. And so people were super prepared for the AP English test. And not only that, but they became great writers. I feel like a lot of us became better writers than we ever would have without that class, because he graded super strictly, which they do. And he would write comments like, for me, I kept writing in passive voice. And every time he'd write something about, like, don't write in passive voice or whatever, he'd say it's right here. And then a few months in, I would facepalm every time I wrote in passive voice, because I should know better by now. But he did that. I think it's great when teachers demand higher standards like that. I think it's fun.
I think it's the best thing about teachers. I think it's how you make better students.
Yeah.
Demand high things of them.
Can I tell a little anecdote to wrap this up and move on?
Yes.
Do I hear a segue?
Well, kind of. Not really. But I want to tell this story. So this teacher, that I talked about, the chemistry physics teacher who made everything fun, went on a rant one time in our physics class senior year. And our physics class was small. There were like 10 of us, no, 8 of us at the end of it. And very close to the end of school, he went on this rant about how if somebody like tries to get you to buy a star, don't do it. It's the dumbest thing in the world.
I know
You
this story.
don't You don't get anywhere because you bought a star.
Right.
Literally all they do is take a picture of your star and then go through copyright to put a name on your star and require that nobody else is allowed to use this star to make money. So basically, they make it your work. Like,
Yep.
that's it. So people can't, like, use a picture of this star and go, well, this is now our star. And
Even
then if
though
they
it
do,
looks
you
like-
could sue them. But nobody's going to do that.
It looks just like any other star.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, they've sold out of stars that you can see.
Wow.
Wow.
So they're now selling stars that you can kind of maybe sort of see with a telescope.
Wow.
So there are a lot of people who are very dumb.
Yes.
So can we not
Wow.
like
They're like $25. They're super cheap. It's just
Oh,
literally a
really?
certificate and a picture of your star.
so say we film a movie at night, can we not use the footage without wiping
As
the
long as it's
sky?
all of the stars, I think it's fair.
just not
because that's
specific
public sky.
stars.
But if we film a movie with a young romantic couple under the light of that single star that he owns, do we have to pay him royalties?
If he notices it.
Which I won't.
If
And
he's
so-
like,
because it looks like
if
every
he's
other
like
star.
Yeah.
flipping through his book of all his own stars and goes, "Hey, that's my star."
Then he would get royalties.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
amazingly ridiculous.
It is the dumbest thing in the world. So, and now they can't even take a picture of your star. They take a picture of your section of sky and draw an arrow to your star.
Oh my god.
Because it cannot zoom in that much.
Wow.
So, because we could, there is now a star named David Atkins, and the certificate is hanging in his classroom.
That's funny.
We took it in there because the seniors at our school, and I'm sure yours were like this too, got out like a week early. So we went back one day and like took him this present, and he unwrapped it and went, "Well, you shouldn't have. Like, really, you shouldn't have." I'm flattered, but no.
But this is
That's
dumb.
funny.
So he hung it up on the wall, and it is, I hope, still there. But yes, there is a star somewhere out there named David Atkins,
That's
and
great.
it makes me happy.
That's the best thing
that
ever.
makes me
right there.
happy.
In the future, when people from Earth go to distant stars, will that still be called David Atkins star?
It'll
I
be
mean, I'm
the-
sure NASA doesn't even recognize it, but I don't care.
It'll be
Gotcha.
the Atkins solar system.
Yeah, the Atkins system.
Yep.
You can only eat meat.
What?
Nobody got that Atkins diet.
The-
Nope, I'm
I-
lame.
I've heard
Okay,
of it.
Got it.
I've
You
heard
are
of the
lame,
Atkins
but
system.
that's
I
not
had
point.
no
It took me
idea
too
what
long
you were
to
talking
laugh.
about.
Anyway.
All right,
Still
we
have it,
done?
by the way.
We done?
Um,
Not? We're,
I think
we're
we're
done.
Come on.
If
We
you
should.
This
had,
is
be done.
ridiculous.
This has been long.
Okay, if you had great teachers, or if you had bad teachers, tell us about them in the comments. We're interested to see what makes a great teacher.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're done?
Can I
We're
also
good?
point out that Logan keeps doing this, specifically looking at me, because I said before the show, it's the most awkward segue when you go, all right, is everybody good? Are we done?
Are we done,
Can we move
guys?
on? Are we done?
All right.
Are we
I-
ready?
I think
Okay, let's
we're-
segue.
so I think we're good.